Like to call the select board meeting April 29th to order. It is now 5:15. Please stand for the allegiance, please. Next item on the agenda is roll call.
Board Member Dana Turner.
Present.
Board Member David Kubala. Board Secretary Dr. Jones Missouri. Present. Board President Paul Gonzalez. Vice President Paul Gonzalez. Board President Matthew.
Present. So, one, next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve it presented?
Make a motion to approve the agenda for today's meeting on April 29th.
I have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Dr. Missouri. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is ratification of agenda contents from April 24, 2025 meeting. This is a ratification due to a typo on the date of our last meeting on the agenda. So I would like the motion to approve, motion to ratify all action items 8, 1 through 6 from April 24th regular board meeting. On a motion by Mr. Gonzalez, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Missouri. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is new business, discussion action. Item 8, cybersecurity policy.
Mr. Chair, I call Mr. Eric Levis to talk about the cybersecurity.
Yeah, so I'm here to present the cybersecurity technology policy support. A couple years ago, we got hit by a ransomware attack. They stole a lot of data between encrypting and put it out, things like that. So the purpose of this is just for us to kind of establish better data protection and other cybersecurity policies as well, just to ensure that our network is better protected. I'm going to keep that from, I don't want to say happening again because nothing is foolproof anymore. Things are always getting more advanced. And it's just, I don't know, it's going to happen again. But these policies in place will kind of protect us a little bit better, I think, from that sort of data breach to happen.
Can you talk about some of the things that are really good for one?
So a lot of what happened is acceptable use policies, which is for district provided emails, accounts, applications, just follow the complexity rules, the username, that we 1, 2, 3, 4, and actually this will also prevent, well, it won't prevent, it will help combat against unauthorized applications being installed on our devices. So like if a user goes and they decide they want to use something that's not approved by technology, because we haven't fully vetted it yet. This will help us with that as well. This also kind of goes through and clarifies who can access certain types of data, when they should access it, just to ensure it follows the principle of least privilege, so everybody will have just enough to do what they need to do. Well, it also goes over the detention policy. I was working on our cyber resiliency assessment with Arctical. There are cybersecurity concierge team that we work with. And I kind of noticed that we don't have a lot of this. We follow a lot of it, but we don't have it kind of actually written in here.
It's hard to say actually, when you don't have a policy in place for something to do. So part of my initiative here was to find a person responsible for cybersecurity to focus on them in the daily basis to mitigate issues that we've already seen in the past, but also take lead from the state, all these other organizations, Power School, we kind of recommendations based on their views. And so we have to incorporate the cybersecurity policy with the fire policies so that in the event that we do have cybersecurity, we have a response that we can respond that we can direct to that.
And I do believe we were approved to get onto the state. The state's starting like a new initiative to get all of the schools onto one network. They would be responsible for their side of the security, which would have an extra layer of protection for us. We also got approved for a grant that allows us to do training on cybersecurity, so we could send out. We would be able to create our own phishing emails, send them out. Somebody clicks on the link, some mandatory trainings that they need to go over. So that, we did have a couple of cybersecurity incidents recently. A couple of users got some emails. They did go in and put their credentials in. Our people was able to catch it right away. We came. I came in, confiscated the computers. Just kind of followed the mitigation.
All of those incidents were investigated as well, so it's coming out of hand. They started by, we try to attempt their person compliance on the protocol in this.
Yes, and I did also include the reports I wrote up on those two incidents that happened. And also what was done afterwards. And it also goes over endpoint security, just making sure, everybody's computer on the network that's antivirus for today. Also, it goes over account auditing. So we have so many different applications that all interconnect with everything. Yeah, sometimes we were going through and reconciliating the data. It's we'll find users that okay this policy also makes it so that we're going to be auditing these systems to make sure that there's no reason we did it.
Or person. Superintendent, if you're going to
Mr. Chair, I recommend approval of the cybersecurity policy. So where it's not necessarily going to go into our NSPA portal. It can, if you want to do that, then you can recommend that people do to passes as we normally have. But this is where to our hands, so I'm going to be able to hear everybody. With that,
This is on our information, we approve your certificate.
Oh, the motion by Mr. Romero, go ahead, second.
Okay.
The second by Dr. Missouri. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is item B, 2025-26 school calendar.
President, all of the Garcia, points over. Good evening. She said, we talk on the top.
Board member, President Giacomo, senior members of the board, and Madam Superintendent. The calendar committee met twice. Oh, what are these? We met on back in January and then another one to late January. And there were representatives from the school district, teachers, as well as government observers there. And we worked out a calendar that fit the requirements of the state and our district. The calendar you see before you is one of 3 options that were voted upon. And I believe is there a copy provided?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, cool. 3 options were provided and voted on. Okay. 3 options were provided to staff and teachers and everyone and voted upon, and I believe this is our 8th option, which is actually what we made. That is our recommendation, I should say, out of the 3. As you can see, it doesn't meet our collective bargaining requirements of having a full day for teachers at the beginning and at the end of the year. It does have a starting August 5. All of the dates in there, we do not have day Wednesdays for the same year. There are professional development full days that are interspersed throughout the school year that were placed in what the committee thought would be the best situation possible. In some instances, it's right before parent-teacher conferences or right in between grades due and parent-teacher conferences. That way, paperwork can get done and completed, and we can have a full day of professional development. But maybe some time for us to get some extra things done beyond that. And kind of improve that efficacy for professional development and make it a little more easier to make things happen.
After creating the calendar, we did enter into the checklist that the state gave us and verify that it doesn't involve the requirements, all of the hours we're not over. We reviewed half day, remote days, and this is the calendar we get set up on. So we've checked it multiple times.
Yeah, so it looks like one 78 days with students plus 2 parent-teacher conference days plus 8 days of professional development class days. If nothing further, we stand for questions.
The calendar does have the K-12 plus days embedded in there, so there's some provisional factorization for budget. They did go out to staff, so it's actually go around it. This is the majority of and the major change that made was changing from active Wednesdays to full day days. We don't have good attendance on these activities. And for our PD, we didn't get anything effective within that 12-hour period. So that is 2 of the major reasons. The calendar for 5/22, we did change that date when it was actually given to our staff. We were looking at having that as what was it? We were going to do a half day. Yeah. We were going to do a half day on this day, but in doing so, we would have had a restriction of $64,000.
Yes.
We are making it with all the space synchronous state. That would be the last stage. So with that, for information.
Oh, what is that? And we are getting a spring break and go back to that schedule for.
Spring break is only 3 days, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
In March, we have 3 days, I can't see from here to there, and then in, and then in April, we have Thursday, Friday, and Monday, which we did get this year, which is one of the things, what we did this year, decided rather than all coming in and kind of hashing it out, we gave them some, kind of things that we were looking for full day PDs, when we wanted those PD days, what we were kind of looking at for days off. We went back to their school sites, we were able to pull their entire staff. Then we came back and we plugged in all the common dates that we all had. We had to kind of there was like 5 days, we all of us to agree on one, and it made it relatively easy to come up with it. Looking across the board, we did have parents in there most of our days for all the agreements. It's ready to start.
Wow,
It's a change plus, we have to add a additional days, so it does push open and then with some of the vacation time in there.
Yeah, it's true. A lot of districts are going through this. I think it was the superintendent in the, actually, it was most friend of mine. I think that's what, who, was put it in the newspaper saying, you know, no one wants to start early, but everyone wants to be out on Memorial Day. You cannot have your cake and eat it. So. Therein lies the.
In addition to this, so, you know, this is the capital that we are recommending. However, I do have a survey that was developed by this first year, we have this ready to go. We do have an option to look into a board account, and if they choose something between now and next year. That is something that you would like us to explore for the following school year, and survey our school community as for some parents, if that's something that anyone wants to consider, and but you know, it can give us the year to develop something and it's the benefits for.
I got, asked Mr. Romero, I recall one of my daughters was on a 4-day at some point here at Las Vegas. Do you know what that was? Mr. Romero? Well, that's
13.
yeah, I remember that.
No, because Mr. President, now, Superintendent, do we look at the grant, Head Start, the meeting about building to close items, the data off, the thing on. Yeah, just so that we know all
I can tell you the committee did not.
And they do start after us typically anyhow, and then I do have communication with Amy. She's going to coordinate so they will be having their visit May 8th, I believe it is, and also down and discuss that with them a little bit. Maybe some time to for and possibly what things they need to work on for the kids at the end. But we will meet on the 8th.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to thank you guys for all the time and research and everything you're all doing. It's important that you guys get the community and the teachers involved, and thank you for reaching out. It's, we did it, it's great to meet you. For the school, we really thank you for all the things you guys do, but again, thank you for all your work with making this. Right, thank you.
Thank you to everyone who's there, including everyone who's, present.
Thank you. This is from,
On the recommendation by this calendar year, that calendar 8.
Yes.
I have a motion by Mr. Romero, do I have a second?
Second.
The second by Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is item C 2025 audit. Or anything else?
So I attended Jimmy on Monday, and we looked over all the four different proposals. The two that came out on top was SJT Group and JAG. JAG was cheaper, or small margin, but based on these top two, Madison will be the recommendation as far as something about it.
Mr. President, members, I would recommend JAG.
I just one point of, I did want to clarify, because they look really similar in cost, but we were looking at year 4. So just so everyone's aware, the difference is, in the 4th quote is about $4,000. I just so you know, I'm re-reviewing it and I meant to let you know beforehand, but I just wanted to let you guys know that that's, because that's typically what we call. Okay, so just to know.
So, and you still are scared?
Yeah.
It is. This is happening on time.
So they are the issues.
And in transparency, we are doing some, they are doing consulting for us as well. They've been extremely helpful, there is no confidence. With regards to having good supporting us.
What's your, superintendent's recommendation?
Lawyers and everybody else.
I do not want to return that we verified with JAG in regards to the work that they do. What they're doing.
And so, get that.
And I can get confirmation for the state line.
Yeah.
I can,
Just to make sure. Are they reaching the American company? They want to. On my recommendation, Mr. President, I recommend the hire of Neil Condu to be our next auditor for the next school year,
For 2025.
2025 audit program.
Motion of Mr. Gonzalez, second.
Okay.
I have a second by Councilman Reserve. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Um,
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the bilingual applications.
Superintendent Sandoval, I'm here to update you guys on the board application that I'll be submitting to the PEP. I'm just going to give you guys some numbers that we submitted. Currently, right now, we have 714 students that are part of our BENC program, which is our bilingual multicultural education program. Right now, we sit at, I'm just going to bring down and give you guys some numbers each school site. Los Niños sits at 302 students that participate in the program. Sierra Vista, 238 students that are in the program. Michael Taylor Elementary, 54. Memorial Middle School has 71 students. And Robertson High School has 49 students that participate in the program. We use our identity call for middle school, high school. That's a curriculum that they use. Maravillas is used by Los Niños. And Sierra Vista, which I think that maybe we can talk about with this. Elaine Gonzalez, superintendent, about getting a different curriculum just to work with that, but actually they work really well. So, that will be submitted, and we'll get there for the assurance page. Also, we are going to submit for our English language learners. Currently, we have 81 English language learners for in the district. Los Niños has 22. We serve 19 of those students. Sierra Vista has 9. We serve 2 of those students. Michael Taylor Elementary has 2. We serve 2 of those students. Memorial Middle School has 17. We serve 5. And Robertson High School has 32 EL students. We serve 5. Just a little background is the reason why we play so many of the kids. So like if you're asking, why is it that Robertson High School has 32, around 85? So in the application, student has to be receiving both EL services and then an English, Spanish. I think the issue with our district is that teachers that are easily worse. So I can't be both. If they're taking both. So they have a Spanish class, but they have an English teacher that doesn't hold TESOL. I can't do that. We can't pay them in our application. That goes from all the way from K to 12. Okay, so like for instance, at Los Niños, we have 22, but we have teachers there that are TESOL first. So it's our she does it. She puts them in with the teachers that have that immersion, which allows us to be able to pay more. And do things. So this is something that we've spoken about the teachers taking and maybe they presented to you guys as well. About encouraging our teachers to go out and see their bilingual enrichment and their TESOL and really back before they required for us to have our bilingual enrichment, and now I see the reason it's really important. It's money. And right now we don't be sit in a good place, because we have a lot of teachers that just don't want those endorsements, so it's really hard. Right now, the elementary, I got 2 itinerants that are kind of full in because they're covering all the legal aspect. A lot of the teachers don't. Unfortunately, this year, I was able to, sign up for a waiver, so the teachers took advantage of it, and so I through the state, of course, we have to do it every year. So. Them to want to get their waiver. And if they do, I mean, I'm more than willing to support them. And we're there's some other programs that are coming up for New Mexico Highlands. Hopefully that we'll get the numbers that we need to help. So right now, like I said, we have within the whole district, we sit at only 17 teachers who are writing endorsement. Small number of teachers, only 23 of the teachers that were teaching. At the middle school, and Julie, a little bit of 2 teachers that sit with a TESOL, a bilingual, and a Marvin classical. There's 3 in here to teach secondary. One got 2. And the one at the middle school, these were we had. We don't know if I have any, but general. Yeah, it's working with us, so I'm not sure that never gonna get a problem. I have this waiver, and so it sits well. But after this school year, but we are going to look back at it again with that teacher. So it's a little bit for that. Pretty much that's it. That's what I'm going to be submitting. Once we get your signature and sticking battle, this goes.
Thank you. What can we do to give these teachers an incentive to go get, to take that relevance and prevalence, then, isn't it still? So what can we do to try to get that? I know, my wife, she couldn't get a job enough, but it was teach one of the those back in the day, and I mean, now every quarter the teachers and lucky with what we get, but what can we do to give them stipends, something to encourage these teachers that within that?
Maybe the waiver process would give the state has given that flexibility to teachers who would be obtaining their credentials, so they need to work towards the endorsement. I believe that's 24 hours, 36 hours, something like that, 24 or 36 hours plus the passage of but it does give them time while they are working on that. It does allow us to count those students that are through the process. With regards to what incentives, because bilingual funds give us an additional factor that generates more money. The goal would be that we could increase the bilingual stipend to from the $1,000 that it is to maybe 2,000 or work our way up. But you know, it's the principals over the course of the school year and negotiating with our union and so on. It is a challenge for them to create schedules and where they're having to share staff and they have a small number of staff to make schedules work for the progress. So that I do want to acknowledge the principals and the work that Ms. Gonzalez done to have this number of students being played for the little amount of teachers that are actually doing the job of that. And then, you know, when so what Ms. Gonzalez was talking about bilingual funding is for the state grant to get 1 hour funding where we get 2 hours. And it's the 2 hours that we receive, you don't have the number of staff. In addition to that, you also use federal funds, which is free funding. So with your 32 next students and we 5 play service, you know, that's additional funding that you're using that we're losing out on state level and federal funds. So we need to work with them to encourage them to take those classes, and we can work on maybe some putting on the back end to fix that for next year. But again, it's a high stress that we need to have to do with our viewers.
Where do you think we're at based on the 17 or bilingual endorsed in 23, I think you said on the TESOL?
Yes.
Where do you think we are? How many we showed you? 10, 15, 20?
Ideally, you want to have, all teachers, right? I don't know. Just to be, but at least two, like, it's great, one, base schedules to where they're swapping with, say, two teachers are teaching all of the other ones who work something different. All the batch, so. I would say at least half, and at least half, maybe more.
I worked alongside Dr. Rollinsford at Iowa University. And they have a fast track, which is for you to do 3 hours in the fall, 3 hours in the spring, and then to do the emergent, which is I think it's a week at the university. I mean, that's really great as opposed to the 24 hours that's usually required. And so I offered this, and so I've spoken to them, honestly, I've spoken to them individually. Last year, I met individually, I met with every single teacher individually at elementary. To help, to encourage them and stuff, and so there's only so much that we can do, but we can incentivize, maybe a little bit, permitting, and whatever the case may be. I got three that said, yes, I believe this one of hybrid, and that's the reason why I did it. I applied for their waivers, and so they were granted the waiver. And they were able to teach their Spanish the whole school year. But again, like I said, the waivers are only a year, so I have to do it every year. But at that, they can't come back and say, hey, we're just doing waivers out of waivers, what's it gonna take to get these people to get reimbursement? Which is important.
Out of the 17 that you have that are bilingual endorsed, are those staff members that are later in the career already, or are they kind of fairly new grad students that later? So they're the staff members that they were required to, in order to get a job as a teacher, they had to get all of those things to get a job. So now you have new grads that are just coming in that 1,000 more typing is not security, and then you go through and take that grad level, which I heard is kind of tough.
Is there any way to get, President, is there any way to get this kind of work into their personal development maybe? Or is it something that can't be done?
Not so much the team and I guess two big programs. They do know that past experience and unfortunately, a lot of our students here. Personally, but a lot of them don't. And so speak. Teaching. Right. We work on that. So there's gonna be a lot of recruitment to try to find individuals for the next teaching.
Now we go down all challenges, every district is trying to find teachers to develop.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
So there's again, the presentation is for recognition for our recommended application.
I have a motion from Mr. Romero, one second. Oh, I'll start the all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is E, Title VI certification application.
The last is, a ratification last Friday, when, the Department and, the Office of Civil Rights specifically, certification that Las Vegas City School was right in grade 6, which is basically the discrimination. Law is that we were required to meet all requirements of that. This has been a nationwide request and Secretary of Education from PED draft a letter on behalf of all the streets in the state of New Mexico. To include the letter that is attached in your file, to submit to, the Department of Ed. Our deadline was April 24th, so I received this letter on the 23rd, I submitted it the following day. So, I am requesting ratification for this, to ensure, and for transparency, so all of that. Because it is both in, I think that we have reported, our part to that.
Sure. Thank you, Ms. Sandoval. I'd like to make a motion that we ratify Title VI certification. A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Next item is future planning. We got a regular board meeting, May 15, 2025. Any questions? No. Next item on the agenda is on B, MSBA 46th Annual School Law Conference in Albuquerque, June 5th through the 7th, 2025. As everybody let, with some vulnerable information.
He did reserve for the super to be able to get rid there, so everyone is a good reservation. Just want to know for sure, Mark, I have taken to be one past registration.
So as well. No other further business, I hear the motion to adjourn. The motion by Mr. Romero, do I have a second? Second by Dr. Mazur, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you. You're adjourned, it is 5:00.